If you've been researching a lot of different ways on how to upgrade your iPhone cinematography or videography, you've probably come across a lot of videos and other things online about attaching different accessories to your iPhone. I definitely have, and have been deep diving into the world of iPhone cinematography and videography over the past few months. So much so that I've definitely amassed a bit of a collection of different iPhone filmmaking accessories, alongside traveled with my iPhone and done a lot of different other filmmaking projects with it. On my recent trip to Japan, I just brought my iPhone alongside my point and shoot camera for photos because I really wanted to compact down my entire filmmaking kit when it came to travel. And later at the end of this video, I'll be showcasing some sample footage of what I've captured with this setup that I want to show you here today. So I'll start off by sharing with you probably the most basic kind of setup that I like to use, and it really involves around the ecosystem of these Sandmark lenses. They sent them to me a few months ago and I've really enjoyed using them. I've used them alongside some freewell lenses which I'll review in a different video, but these ones are really small and lightweight and they work really great with this system here, and especially with a lot of travel cinematography that I've been doing. Now I've got three lenses here: the telephoto, the macro, and the wide. The macro lens is the one I probably use the least, and I didn't really bring on my travel adventures recently. I've only done really one shot with that, but the telephoto one I use so much and I really love. It's super small and it adds so much character onto the main lens of the phone. Now really, to get things going, I have my iPhone here. It's an iPhone 16 Pro, just without the cases, usually how I like to roll with it. Now when I am attaching the lenses onto it, I always use the Sandmark case, just because it adds obviously protection and the mount for the lens. So it clips on just like this, and it really adds a 17mm thread attachment point to the actual main lens of the camera, which is the main lens of the iPhone, which is the bottom one just here. And that's where all the lenses pretty much attach. So it's a nice slim case. All the buttons are accessible, including the action button on the side here, alongside the camera control, which I've mapped to open up the Blackmagic camera app. Very simply, I like to add on my next lens, or my main lens, which is the Sandmark telephoto lens. It comes with a back protection plate alongside with a lens cap here, which I can just detach and then reattach. It's very important to clean your lens beforehand. I probably should have done this, but you'll kind of get the idea. It just screws on like this. And already we're pretty much mostly of the way there. What I always like to do is that, because I want to maintain my 180-degree shutter rule, which if you don't know what that is, it's shooting at 24 frames per second, which is what I do all the time, and doubling your shutter speed. So if you shoot at 30 frames per second, you'll shoot at a 1/60 shutter speed. You'll shoot at 24 like I do. You'll go up to 1/48, and that's to maintain some really good motion blur when you are filming. And in order to do that, because you are shooting at such a lower shutter speed, you'll often find that everything will be overexposed. So you need what the absolute main essential is, and that is a ND filter. This one is also from Sandmark. I like it because it's so small and it's very lightweight. It attaches on the camera just like this, or onto the lens just like this. And there you go. Now this is pretty much the setup that I use 99% of the time when it comes to my travel filmmaking. When I went to Japan, this is pretty much the setup I used all the time. Now for some people, and myself included, sometimes I didn't really have an area to grip onto and it wasn't exactly perfect, but I do also like having it as minimal like this, because it's really, small and lightweight and there's not many other excess bulk that's on the phone. But if you do need to add a little extra grip, this is where this little Manfrotto tripod attachment clamp comes into play. I don't know the exact model name, but it's really cheap. It was like $18 or something, and it has a tripod. I think it's like a 1/4-inch thread mount at the bottom here that you can just mount to a tripod or anything like that, like this other Manfrotto one that I have here, which I don't actually use very often, but I do have it if needed. So this just clamps onto the phone like this. And there we are. That is pretty much the iPhone setup that I use for all of my travel content. Again, 99% of the time I have it like this. I have a 512GB iPhone 16 Pro, so very rarely I like to attach extra storage on to the phone itself. But when I do need to attach extra storage, that's where the Lexar Go 1TB SSD kind of comes into play. It's really handy. It comes with this adapter here that you can use with the case. I'll just slide over the Manfrotto grip here, and I can plug in the attachment like that, and then add in the SSD on the side here. It's nice and snug. The rubber of the case matches up with the rubber on the SSD storage, so I can just slide these two together like this. So it's all nice and snug, and this is probably like the most advanced that I'll have my iPhone rig when I'm traveling, especially if I want to record to the external SSD, but I find it works great even without it. I'll just offload the footage later if I didn't want to go too crazy. So there you go, that's pretty much it. In the end, the 18mm wide lens is another lens I love to use for my wider shots. It has the same filter thread on the front of this Sandmark lens here. I think it's 58mm. I can't remember. There'll be some text on screen to tell you exactly what it is. But this is a 16mm wide lens, and attaching both of these on the main camera enabled me to get the most quality out of my iPhone footage, given that the main camera has the best sensor, and being able to adapt different photo lens too. But in the end, if I just de-rig this, take it down back again to the setup that I use most often, which is just this simple iPhone camera setup. Apart from that, if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, but now you'll see some of the footage that I captured in Japan and in and around some other projects that I did on my iPhone. Until then, have a wonderful day, stay safe, and of course, do take care.